Hey everybody, happy Friday. Thanks for joining us here on Northern Life. Hunter McCullough, I'm Ryan Half. Appreciate you rounding out your week with us. Now, if you've been on Facebook for the past couple of days, you've probably seen the talk of something I didn't even know was a thing.
Yes.
Fortunately, we have meteorologist Hunter McCullough here. So
Hey.
Hunter, what in the world are folks talking about out there when I keep seeing this thing called exploding trees due to the extreme temperatures we're experiencing together?
Social media is just so funny. Sometimes it just latches onto this sort of thing. And this gentleman posted this post, and all it is a highlighted, of course, area of exploding tree risk. And I myself have actually never heard of this as well. So I had to do a little research when it comes to this because my common sense said it gets cold like this all the time. I've never seen a tree explode. What on earth is he talking about? And so I did some research. They don't explode. The trees don't, burst a fiery ball explosion sort of thing.
Not like dynamite.
Not like dynamite, but they do crack in the cold.
Sure.
And that's because there's moisture in the sap and moisture in the tree. And especially when it gets cold really all of a sudden, you can see that expanding really quick and bursting. And it doesn't explode, but it can cause big cracks.
It's kind of like, would you say maybe it's similar to if you leave a full pop can in the car, how that kind of explodes?
It's exactly because the liquid expands and the little veins in the tree can't handle it, so they expand.
Like splits almost a little bit.
Yes, exactly. And it can be loud sometimes. It can almost sound like a gunshot sometimes, but maybe not quite that loud. But it's quite the phenomenon. But they don't explode. What are you talking about? Max velocity, whoever you are.
Also, if I don't know if you're able to pull up that photo again. I just did want to appreciate that Mr. Velocity, who I don't believe is a real meteorologist.
No, I don't think so.
It's a great name. They decided to put the exploding tree risk over Lake Superior. So
I didn't even notice that.
If you're out on Lake Superior this weekend, just be careful. You might have an exploding tree somewhere in the water.
We've been looking at funny videos too of people kind of parodying this and making fun of it on Facebook, which is also hilarious. So it's funny. Don't believe everything you read on social media.
I think we're okay.
Yes.
We're okay. Well, hey, I was sitting with Mary on the couch the other night. We weren't talking about exploding trees, but it was quite the image. She showed me this find on Facebook Marketplace here in the Twin Ports. She found this taxidermy squirrel over in Superior. Now, for $200, it could be yours. And I'm going to let you fill in the gaps for yourself as to what it appears that animal may or may not be doing in said photo. So then I...
just hanging around, I don't know.
Yeah, just hanging out, just chilling, just leaned up against a pole. And so I posted the squirrel on social media, asked for you all out there, our viewers, to give us the best caption. And I did appreciate this one by Kimberly, who made the reference to the legendary band Journey. Of course, Don't Stop Believing, saying, just a small town squirrel living in a lonely world.
Oh, that's good, Kimberly. That's fantastic. Have you had more since this post went
I think I've had a
online?
couple. I think just a couple.
Okay, I got to double check that because that's hilarious. First off, who would ever do that sort of thing?
Someone requested that, I believe.
They did?
Or I would assume if they have a squirrel and they either take it to the taxidermist and say, I would like this.
I guess.
Or if it was a taxidermist themselves and they said, I'm going to create something that nobody else has probably seen.
Oh my gosh. The next question is, maybe that's why it's so expensive. I was going to wonder,
one of one.
Why is it $200 for this thing?
One of one.
But I guess it is one of one. Man, after seeing it, it would go good in my home.
A lot of people did say we should get it for the studio, so it would look perfect right here.
We'll ask Todd. It could go right in the middle of us. That'd be fantastic.
$200 well spent.
Yeah,
we'll have to negotiate maybe a little bit.
I think we can maybe get it out, maybe 150, something like that.
That seems fair.
We'll knock her down a little bit. Ryan and I the other day were talking about the difference between sea smoke and lake smoke, and one of our viewers helped solve the debate sharing this voicemail on the Northern Life text line. Take a listen.
Hi, Ryan and Hunter. You're both correct. The lake is called an inland sea, so I guess it is sea smoke or lake smoke. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Oh, thank you for the voicemail.
Yeah, thank you very much for helping us out there.
We're both right.
I guess we're both right. That makes sense to me. It was funny because previous meteorologists or people that work here, some people are from the East Coast or the West Coast or something like that. So it takes a little bit for them to get used to not calling Lake Superior an ocean. It's a lake, it's a big old lake. So it's kind of funny to see the transition that has to happen in their minds in order for that to work out. I bet it's difficult moving to a new place, having new geography.
It sounds like you're saying meteorologist Tony Nargi. You got a couple calls or texts or emails saying, hey, just got to tell you.
I wasn't going to say him by name.
Not an ocean.
Yes, it was Tony Nargi who did that. It was quite maybe like 6 months or so that we had to be like, okay, no, Tony, it's Lake Superior. You can't,
I throw my mom under the bus. She loves calling the Lake Superior an ocean.
Yeah, it's a huge body of water.
Huge. It's enormous.
Yes.
Can't really see anything over it.
Yep.
Well, if you don't pick up after your pets out there, a New York City community is using dog DNA to keep their property clean. So at this condo complex, every dog is swabbed and their DNA is then stored in a database. So that way, when waste is left behind, staff will collect that sample and send it off to a lab, which can then identify that dog in about a week. So the result, a $250 fine for the owner who didn't clean it up. And supporters say it's a fair price to pay to keep that community clean, and the company behind it says thousands of other communities nationwide are now using that program.
My question is, how much is the condo paying the person swabbing the dogs for their feces?
Or how much does the test cost?
Yeah, that's also true. That's got to be quite expensive. I don't mind the idea. You know, of course, got to pick up after your dog, but that's extreme right there, Ryan.
Register your car, you have to register your dog sometimes too.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
How about that? Well, one of the most responded to stories we've ever talked about here on Northern Life isn't about the ocean, lake, or sea. It is the difference between ponies and miniature horses.
Yes.
And well, when it comes to horses, a new study finds that horses can actually really smell your fear. Researchers collected samples of study participants' armpit odor when they were feeling scared, when they were feeling happy, and then a neutral. The researchers then exposed the horses to different odors and observed the animal's behavior. And the horses exposed to odor compounds from volunteers who were watching scary footage were then more likely to be startled and were less likely to approach people or investigate unfamiliar objects.
Is it just me, or is that like really creepy that horses are able to sense fear? That's I don't know if I like that, Ryan.
Yeah, I don't know if I like it either, but I think it makes sense. You know, we had our time at Veritas Ridge too, nearby here.
Oh yeah,
where I got on the horse, and I'm sure that horse said, "I know this guy doesn't know what he's doing, so I'm going to act whatever he's doing."
That makes sense. Yeah. I bet it would be even scarier, if you actually were scared on top of a horse. The horse sensed it. You got to be in control, you know.
You got to be in.
Yep.
All right, we'll see you after the break.
Welcome back, folks. This is super cool. So you remember for the past few years, I competed and helped out judging the Singing with the Stars competition at the North Shore Theater the past couple of years, I believe, and it's put on by the Duluth Playhouse. Well, guess what? Coming up this year, Northern News Now evening anchor Laura Lee is going to be joining the judges panel. Tickets go on sale today for the April 10th fundraiser. Passing on the torch and carrying it on. That's what I'm talking about.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Laura will be a great judge.
Oh, she'd be fantastic. Yeah, lots of personality and going to have a lot of fun with that for sure.
Were you worried about hurting other people's feelings while you were up there at the judges panel?
You know, I definitely was, and because some of the other judges and some of the other people actually were a little bit, maybe not degrading, but kind of,
let them have it
a little bit. So I tried to play a little lighter. You know, it's all kind of a fun sort of thing. You know, it's not like American Idol or something like that.
Were you the Randy Jackson or the Paula Abdul then?
I was probably Paula Abdul. I'm like, yeah, you did great. You know, you keep doing it.
You let other people be the Simon Cowell.
Exactly. I was not Simon Cowell by any means, but I don't think Laura Lee will be either. She'll be fantastic.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Get those tickets out there. You'll probably hear some classics during that night of musical theater. And how about this throwback? Fleetwood Mac back on the Billboard Top 100. Their original song, Landslide, is on that chart for the first time ever. And as you know, that song came out 50 years ago, with Landslide being released in 1975. The song's recent popularity thanks to it being featured in the series finale of Netflix's Stranger Things.
That's so cool that there's shows out there like that are introducing these songs to a totally new audience that may have never heard the songs before. I know a couple seasons ago they did that with Metallica as well. They had Metallica on one of the Stranger Things episodes.
Oh, cool.
There's all these kids that are like, who's this awesome band?
This is a great song.
Yeah, exactly. I think it was
it.
Enter Sandman or something like that.
Here's the other thing, too. Growing up, the band now called The Chicks, I thought it was their song that they sang.
Oh, the Landslide?
Because they have a rendition of Landslide.
You're right.
Yeah, so I thought that was their song. And so someone informed me that Fleetwood Mac is the one who came up with, or originally wrote it. I was shocked.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
What a great song.
Yeah, great song. Up the North Shore, the Lutsen Ski Resort is known for great runs and great views of Lake Superior. However, it might not be a view you'd want to enjoy for 5 hours when you're stuck on a ski lift.
Yeah, that's true. Jeff Wagner talked to some of those folks that were stuck up there last weekend and shares more about the stunning save.
It was supposed to be an easygoing guys' weekend.
I met Andrew through soccer with our kids, right? And, over the last couple months, we've gotten to be friends.
Chaz Cross, Andrew Schultz, and their 4 friends headed to Lutsen Ski Resort last weekend. Temps were below zero, with winds gusting over 40 miles per hour. Perfect skiing weather, right?
We came up Friday night, we did some night cross-country skiing, which was wonderful, and then Saturday morning we want to be first people in the lift lines.
They were hitting the run called Raptor Express 4 times. They decided to go down it one more time. On the way up, the lift suddenly stopped.
We just start joking around. It's like, oh, who fell, right? Like, a snowboarder needs help getting off, right? So we're all skiers, so we immediately make fun of the snowboarders there.
An equipment malfunction stranded the guys and about 40 other guests 40 feet off the ground for 5 hours.
You do get worried. Your mind's up there, the wind's blowing, you're a little bit cold, you're dressed for the weather, and you're like, okay, how long can I be up here?
Ski Patrol, mountaineers, and even the Lutsen Fire Department jumped into action and started a rope evac.
I don't know how you train for all these contingencies, but they had 3 separate ways to triage to get people off the mountain right away.
All 44 guests were evacuated safely from the chairlift, and the guys?
Guys weekend every year, right? Try to do it, and hopefully, next time it'll be a little bit less eventful, but still want a good story.
With photojournalist Tony Peterson, Jeff Wagner, WCCO News.
Wow, I guess if you had to be trapped out in the cold, it would be doing a winter activity like that.
Yeah.
We were already bundled up, so you could probably, be just fine, hopefully at the end. But that's just crazy.
5 hours is a long time,
That's a
man.
long
I also
time.
didn't know. I guess I haven't skied enough now to understand that snowboarders and skiers maybe don't like each other.
There's a little contention, I believe.
Okay.
I go up to Lutsen every single year with my 2 buddies who snowboard and me and my brother who ski, and there's always a little competition between
Sure.
the 2 of us, So it's kind of friendly, but yeah, it's it's that
Do you think
sort
it
of thing.
follows personalities?
I think it does. I
Okay.
really do.
Like
yeah,
in your
maybe-
friend group?
I think so. Like, the snowboarders themselves, they're a little more chill, they're kind of laid back, easy going. Colton is too. My brother is too, so he could be a snowboarder, but I'm just going crazy, I want to be a skier, I tried snowboarding.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried it before?
No, I've not.
It's
I've
tough.
not. My friend growing up, he snapped his leg snowboarding, so
Oh,
I said,
jeez.
I don't think I want to do that.
You got to get
So,
back to skiing though,
Yeah.
man.
That'll be a lot of fun.
Get her done. And speaking of this crazy man right here, most of us, of course, don't want to be outside in these crazy temperatures. Ryan, you're willingly running outside numerous miles to prepare for Grandma's Marathon.
So back on Tuesday, our Grandma's Marathon training group started. Director Shania, a part of it. And it was a lot of fun. A lot of people who are now getting ready, months and months and months before the big race comes up in June. So as our director Shania just told us, it has to be done. We got to do it. And so we were supposed to have one last night, and I'm sure maybe some folks showed up, but I decided to not run outdoors in the Thursday night cold. And then there's runs Saturdays too, so I think Saturday will be skipped as well.
Okay, so not only are you running this Grandma's Marathon for the first time, but you're also running out in the cold extended periods for the first time as well. I mean, that's just, how was the first one? How did that go?
Definitely feel it in your lungs. We ran on Tuesday and Wednesday, and you feel great after the fact, but during it you go, what am I doing?
What did I do this? That's nuts, man.
I'm decided to do this to myself. Well, hey, stick around. We're going to be talking about no shoes in the office when we come back.
Welcome back, folks. There's a new winter home trend that is sweeping the country. Get this, it's called house burping, Ryan. It's based
Gotta
on
burp it,
you
yeah.
gotta burp it every once in a while. Based on a German practice known as Lüften, where people often open windows and doors for a short time to let the fresh air into their homes. The idea is to flush out stale, moist air and improve indoor quality of the air, even during cold weather here. Experts say the best method is to open windows briefly, about 5 to 15 minutes, to balance fresh air benefits without losing too much heat. Would you try this, Ryan?
I definitely would. I think even in the March or April months that we get, where it's still cold, but it's certainly refreshing. I mean, even at that point, it works certainly well. So I think, I'm also not a scientist, but I would imagine that if you open your doors and windows in the wintertime for 5 minutes and then closed them, it would feel warmer again inside your house.
Oh, interesting, because you initially get that cold blast.
You'd be like, oh, I could be outside, or I could
Yes.
be in here.
Yeah, that
so
makes
I'm
sense.
happy to be in here.
That totally makes sense. Yeah, you are a scientist, basically.
I'll have to ask a real scientist if that's how it works. I think mentally that's what I would
Sure,
think.
it makes sense to me. One of the benefits of having a wood stove is that, and it's also one of the detractions as well, is it is so hard to regulate the heat in there.
Oh,
so when it's
sure.
actually like 20 or 30 degrees outside, it is so hot in the cabin. So what's nice is you're able to open the windows and kind of regulate a little bit and get that fresh air in there. It's pretty decent.
Then you got to worry about frozen pipes, so 5 to 15 minutes. it sounds like.
Exactly. Yeah, don't leave them open too long.
Not 30 minutes.
No, oh my gosh. Now to the workplace. This one's also interesting. More offices around the country are taking an unusual step by asking employees to take off their shoes.
Hunter's
I
got his
mine
on. We're
You got
good.
yours.
Apparently, ditching street shoes at the door can have surprising benefits for your health. Bradley Blackburn explains why.
At the New York City office of AI startup Spur, the workplace looks like any other until you glance down at the floor.
I think this is the first interview I've ever done in my socks.
Co-founders Sneha Sivakumar and Anushka Nachalan have made their company shoe-free.
Gives a feeling of home where, this becomes your second home, especially when you're building a startup.
The hours we put in, it's just like not comfortable to have shoes on the whole time.
Just like in shoes-off homes, you leave street shoes at the door. But here, Spur's employees and office guests can slide into custom-branded indoor footwear. No shoes is now a key part of their company culture.
We're all on the same team. We're all trying to do something together.
They're not alone. According to tracking website NoShoes.fun, companies all around the world are walking the walk. The goal is more than comfort and culture, it's cleanliness.
It's actually pretty grim.
Indiana University professor Gabriel Filippelli tested shoes and was surprised to learn what we track in on our soles. It can pose risks for health.
Heavy metals, which can impact, particularly if you have children at home, can impact their neurological development, their brains, their organs. That dust and soil might also contain E. coli contaminants, which can cause significant gastrointestinal issues.
Data shows damp mopping helps, but he says leaving contaminants by the front doors of homes or offices just makes sense.
This is a risk you can manage.
It's working in this workplace. The only problem here, they need a bigger shoe rack.
It's like part of us.
And for more companies, the shoe fits when you don't wear it. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Pretty wild. I don't know how I feel about that.
You don't like the idea?
I don't think I do, just because I don't want people seeing my feet, even though I post every month about my my toenail. But that's a different thing. It's just my toenail.
That's a different thing.
Yes, that's totally different. What do you think,
As
though?
opposed to the 20 people who will see me, hopefully hundreds who are going to be watching, seeing your feet.
Yes, oh my
I like
gosh.
it, but we can talk more about it when we come back. Welcome back. I do have to admit that I have taken off my boots before and gone shoeless under my desk here at Northern News Now.
Really?
And I got to tell you, it feels so good.
I bet.
But you also just got to be mindful of if your feet smell.
Yes.
To be courteous to others.
Sometimes it's hard to tell, too, if your own feet smell or you have a stench. It's kind of tough. So
Bring some clean socks.
Maybe better to just keep the shoes on for the most part. When we see you again next week, we're off to Superior making new creations at Mix Cosmetics. Ryan and I are going to be making our own special bars of soap. We got to tell you, we had some fun. This woman is fantastic. So find next week's Blindfold on Tuesday right here on Northern Life. And we got to wait for the soap to set up, too. So I think it's 4 weeks is what she said.
Yeah,
so,
it takes about a month for it to settle. So we will wait, but we'll let you know how it smells.
I'm excited. Yeah, I'm going to put on my feet. Make
Probably
my feet
better
smell
than
good.
the no shoes office.
Right.
But before we go, a reminder to keep your dog safe this weekend. But for the dogs who are built for this weather, they're taking off for Grand Portage. The annual John Bear Grace Sled Dog Race is back in Duluth starting on Sunday. There are also a number of pre-race events happening at Fitkers this weekend. You can find more info at northernnewsnow.com. And a reminder, with our cold temperatures, get the latest info and be safe with our Northern News Now First Alert weather app.
Definitely. Go America with this Bear Grace. Like you're all Americans. We love you all so much.
Have a good weekend.
Find some time to throw a line or just head outside to unwind. That's the life in the great North Woods. Hike or bike, whatever you like. Get out in the day, enjoy the night. Yeah, we got the life in the great North Woods. Yeah, we got the life in the great North Woods. Yeah, this is Northern Life.